Good morning. Today we are entering into 5th week. We are still discussing about soft skills. There are so many skills under soft skills which, if we discuss, you understand, you practice, or you have within yourself, you exercise it, you will find this will be highly beneficial for your professional life. Soft skill not necessarily is for professional life, not necessarily for business or marketing of interviews. Soft skills are equally important in your social life. So soft skills, the sets which I am showing you and discussing briefly on each, which I will elaborate in different chapters later on, you would see one thing. They are building a personality within yourself. Not everything is intrinsic. You may not be able to emulate everything, but you can always give a try. If you give a try, the first thing what you do is you look around, because you may not know that what skill you still possess within intrinsically, which might have come genetically, or you have just by the process of your living over the last few years, you have already imbibed it. So what my suggestion is, go through the skill sets one by one, and then when I'll give you the charts for your self-assessment, you will do yourself. That assessment is going to give you a true picture if you fill that up honestly, without being biased to yourself, without thinking that I know. You try to be very honest as if you are assessing somebody else with respect to all those. And then after that, if you find that I'll give a range, if you are within certain range, then you will feel, okay, you are great. You may feel, no, I need some improvement in some of the skills, or maybe you are very weak in your soft skill sets. There's no harm. Basically, all over the world, people throughout their life are improving themselves every moment. Not every day, every moment. Because how you manifest, it all depends on what you are counteracting every moment. So my honest advice is that you will go through it individually. If you have any specific questions on any of the skill which you think that you need to know a little more, please feel free to write in the forum. Let me go through it. Let me understand that what's your real query. Is there any confusion, or is there any kind of additional knowledge that you need to have? I will always comply and give you support. Okay. Now, I am almost coming to the fag end of my soft skill sets. Today, I am going to discuss about 2 skill sets which are very, very critical. See, what we have talked about, personal skills. We have talked about innovative skills. We have also talked about social skills. We have talked about influencing skills. We have talked about people skill. Today I am going to discuss on certain skills which somehow makes somebody a specialist. We group them as specialized skills. Some people call it professional skills. Some people call it technical skills. I personally feel it is, let's not try to make them so cocoon in one of this. It's a specialized skill. We say he is specialist in it. Whenever we are trying to pick up somebody from the team for certain specific works in terms of soft skill, we say no, not. Again, the list will appear alphabetically, so no listing of priority. You can reset them the way you think is priority. I didn't want to do it myself. The reason is, at different point of time, different skills in the same list may become a priority. So it's not the question of priority. Only thing is, if it is listed alphabetically, then I know what is coming one after another. Okay. Business trend awareness. Essentially, this skill quite often supported by hard skill as well. What is that? A person who is assigned to assess the trend of the business, if he is qualified as a business analyst, market analyst, trend analyst, then what happens is, qualified means hard skills. He has got a degree, he has learned the process, he knows exactly the derivations, how to do it, the process which has been taught in an institution, and he is certified. Hard skill. But do you think that all the persons who are doing business all over the world, they are all educated in business? No, they are not. Since they are not, then how are they doing business? This is the speciality the person has. How he is doing it, it's a question. In fact, I say it's $1 million question. How he is doing it. But there are certain things. If you really analyze the person and his trend of growth over the last few years, and today you are trying to assess his skill, his speciality in business trend analysis or awareness, you will find that not everything came into his mind just automatically. Maybe he was in a company of persons from the family who are running business, who are doing business, and this person is not really directly involved, but he listens to the progress every day. So what happens is, he almost imbibes a speciality of analyzing the trend. And okay, if he cannot analyze it, at least he is aware. Every individual business person, the top successful person in the world, you just try to understand them, know about them, you will find that either from the childhood or maybe at the middle age or maybe at the later age, each person become aware of the business trend. I am not naming anybody, because if I name somebody, then I am missing some other names, which is not right. Ethically is not right when I am giving a lecture globally. The thing is, you find out, if you pick up one successful person from any part of the world and analyze him, when did he start the business? How did he start the business? Which business he is doing? And when he has started, what is the steps that he has followed? You will find the person definitely has analyzed, or he was aware of the trend or the prospects. This is a speciality. Really cannot be taught that mathematically. But when I say hard skill on this business trend awareness or analysis is it complements this or supports this, I am very strong in this statement. Quite often, you may not be a specialist in trend analysis or not very aware, but I can tell you one very simple way of doing it, one very simple way. Read the newspaper every day. And see, the thing is, if you are with a mindset of doing business, if you are not interested in business, you read the newspaper for all other news, how many people have died, where there was a fire, etc., etc., etc. There are actually, newspaper is full with lots of information which is not worthy for you. Maybe it's worthy for many. The thing is, if you are thinking about the business, then first is be aware of the trend. This trend awareness will help you in one thing. First of all, you would know where is the prospect. I'll tell you how people suffer when they are being aware of the trend. Where is the prospect? Then you start self-analyzing. Are you competent in handling that business? Then you become more analytical towards you or critical towards yourself and think that, am I a person who could have ventured into this business? And then further and critical analysis results into who all are doing this business. Is there any shortfall of the provider or supplier or business professionals in this? Am I really going to make an extra crowd in this and not really get an opportunity? So basically, you have to be aware of the whole scenario. This is very critical, and this everybody cannot do. You pick up anybody and say he is business trend aware, not necessary. This awareness is, it comes from your, your intrinsic urge to learn about the trend. And when it comes to trend analysis, take the support of one of your experts who will now do the analysis, absolutely mathematical derivations or methodical order through statistics, trends and everything. But this is one of the very strong specialized skill. Business ethics, all these that I will be talking about here, you will find that there may be a little bit of, some bit of overlapping with your other skills, no problem. But the thing is, not everything is taught. Many of the personal skills can be trained. Many of your other skills like interviewing skills can be taught. That means you can be trained, but specialist skill is very intrinsic. Somehow, some people get a trigger internally that one can do it. Now, what is this business ethics? Ethics is the positive norms. Positive norms means in the whole business, there is certain decorum to be followed, which are set by the business community, the society, and which has come almost as a kind of ethics which you are supposed to follow without questioning. Don't question. This business ethics, quite often I have found many of the persons they deviate from. This is a specialized skill. This sense of ethics, if I take out the business, the ethics, sense of ethics, it comes from your upbringing, the kind of association you have lived with, the schools where you have studied, the colleges where you have studied, the teachers whom you came in contact with, the friends and the mentors who you have come in contact with. So, ethics is not something taught, but yet as a part of my discourse here in one of the lectures, I will spend some half an hour time on only ethics, because though it cannot be taught, it just gets imbibed in the process, but yet there is something which you have to understand. I know that you may be following the ethics, and definitely I am sure that you are following the ethics, but just to cross check that are you following the fundamentals of ethics. So, I will take some time out later. Okay. So, business ethics, that something to do or not to do. So, do's and don'ts in ethics which harms if you do something negative, it harms your business. You remember that once I said that if you impress somebody, the impression remains, the first impression remains, and then you had been giving good service, you had been trustworthy all through. I think I have talked about when I was talking about the trustworthiness. You are building your trust. For 10 years you are doing the business. Only in one opportunity you somehow faltered, and then you violated the ethics of whatever, communication, business, supply, delivery supply, whatever, and you lost the trust. And take it from me, the rest of the time throughout your life, you have lost that business. So, ethics is something which may not make you billionaire, but ethics is something which can take you to a very high pinnacle. Not every time we are trying to achieve things which is maximum, because there are, altogether the resources are same, one bundle of resources. All of us are trying to get some business or something and trying to take a share of the business or share of the resources. You can always take the share of the resources by following or rather violating ethics. You can. But the thing is, that does not make you trustworthy. And if it cannot make you trustworthy, then that does not give you business. So, you have to be very cautious about it. For God's sake, never compromise on ethics. Business etiquette is how you manifest, how you talk, how you stand, how you behave, how suave you are, how polite you are. These are etiquettes. And there are certain things like whom you should talk to, how much you should talk to. What's your, how should you shake your hands? Whom should you shake hands with? Whom should you give a hug? Whom you should not? How much should be the distance between one person and another? I have cases. Okay, the friends. Whenever that friend meets me, he starts speaking. It may be a 3 feet distance from where the conversation started. Gradually, I find that his lips are almost at this close, contrary to the etiquettes. Because now I am feeling that he is violating the space which I do require. It's an imaginary space I do require for a distance. Okay? So, etiquettes makes a very, very strong impact in the minds of the others. Because see, our whole focus of this course's discussion is business and marketing. That means you are either interviewing or you are being interviewed. Either you are giving business or you are getting business. Either you are doing the marketing or you are responding to a marketing approaches. Okay? So, my all focus is with respect to this. Follow the business etiquettes. In business, there are certain etiquettes. Something what you can do to a friend personally. If the friend is sitting on the other side of the table during business operations, you cannot do that. You know, we call our friends by, say, some pet names. The same friend sitting opposite to you for business interaction, if you now calling him, if you start calling him with pet names, it's absolutely negative. It's against the etiquette. So, etiquette is something which, you know, sets a good etiquette, sets a good environment of interaction. So, take note of that. Customer service is a specialist service. It is because of this, you know, many business houses, they select persons for customer dealing. The menace we are seeing now, you know, all these call centers all over the world has grown. A very nice talking persons, male or female, is contacting you. You do not know who is she or he. You don't know. But the thing is, the person is trying to get your feedback or sell a product to you or inform you about something and getting your contract and such. Basically, what that person is doing is he is giving a customer service. I'll tell you, you just check your own experiences. There are some whom you would like to listen to because you don't know who is speaking. One can introduce himself or herself with her name, but are you sure that's the right name? Not necessarily. Maybe the person who is saying I'm so and so, but actually he is using somebody else's name. So, don't bother about the name. Don't bother about the ethnicity of the person. Don't bother about the religion of the person. You just focus on the words that he or she is saying. Okay? Now, once that words or sentences are coming to you, then there are some where you would like to continue for a few seconds more. You don't mind. But the thing is, now here, I am saying you are listening to somebody who is now dealing with the customer service. And if the person is speaking in a very proper manner, very discreet, to the point, giving you the information that is required, not really encroaching into your personal domain, not asking you questions which are putting you in the disturbance or maybe, you know, unpalatable questions or uncomfortable questions. These are all positive things of customer service. That's why in a shop, any garment shops or anywhere you go, you don't like to really interact with all the persons who are dealing with the customers. You don't like, but there are maybe one or two whom you have liked because of their customer service skills. And then next time when you go, you straight away go to that person and tell him that what you want. This is what is very critical. Customer service, not everybody can be skilled in customer service. And it's very important, very, very important. So, if you are yourself giving a customer service, then you should practice the way you should interact with people and the customer who may be coming for the first time. So, there is a first time customer and there may be a customer who is repeatedly coming to your shops. There are different kind of ways that you have to interact with. Getting an opportunity when I'll talk about conversations, when I'll talk about the body languages in my next week's lecture, in which many of these points I'll highlight. I'll give you small demonstrations myself that what you should do, what you should not do. Please wait for it. But at this moment, I'm introducing all these skills which you are supposed to imbibe. Okay. Now, some people, they think that the customer is having a demand for an item. So, if he has come to my shop, he is definitely going to buy because he has a demand and you have the supply. If suppose you find that you don't have a supply and that person has a demand, then you also have to give such kind of expression to him that as if you are helping him. I am sure quite often, suppose you are looking for an object and go to a shop and then you ask him, do you have this object, this product? He says no. Then your next question, immediate question, very common question, I am telling you, I have picked up from observations and even for myself. Next question is, could you tell me where can I get it? You get two kinds of answer. One is, somebody says, yes, we don't have it, but if you go about 2 shops after, there's a shop, you can try there. Or else he may say that you can try after 2 shops. If you don't get it, then try at the corner shops. This is something which is a supportive customer service. But most commonly what you get is that the person says, I don't know where you can get it. That's very negative, very, very negative as a customer service. Okay. Why did he do it? If you really analyze psychology of that person who said, I do not know who can give it. He knows every shop and their products because they are in competition. But the only thing is he doesn't want to send you to another competing shops. That's why he is not telling you. But I'll tell you, this is a very negative customer service, because if he could have helped you, today you might not have this product with him now and you go to the other shop and buy it. But if he would have helped you, next time you would have had options, 50-50 probability of going to that shop or to this shop. And this person wants to think that I won't tell him so he doesn't get it. So next time I have the product and he comes and gets, it's absolutely negative. Absolutely. So whenever professionally, if somebody asks you something and you can provide, but today you are not, or at this point you are not, in a position to provide, then if the customer or your client asks for alternative of yours, you have to say in such a manner that you don't lose this customer or this client. Okay, this is a very, very special skill. Not everybody can be trained. It cannot be like, if it is this, then you say this. If it is this, you don't say this. These are not the way we learn this. This comes from within and it comes in split second. All this specialized skill that I'll be listing over here, it comes in split second. It does not necessarily come from experience. And somehow I find it is an intrinsic skill, and that makes individual a specialist with that skill. Disability awareness is originally what used to happen, rather earlier what used to happen is somebody had the difficulty. This disability, I do not mean that somebody who is physically challenged, no. Disability awareness is somebody who is not being able to express, somebody, okay, even physically challenged. You are supposed to support, give help. How you do it, what kind of disability that you are seeing, I cannot name them because there may be many types. But your role as a specialist is that you should be aware that this person is not, he is slightly handicapped on that. His ability is not strong in communicating. His ability is not strong in expressing. Again, if I give the idea of shops, in that somebody comes, he is looking for an object, he has seen the object, but he does not know the product's name. He comes to you, your shop, thinking that your shop may be having that. He comes and starts explaining, do you have an object something like this? Then you are asking as a salesperson or customer service person that could you tell me something more about that particular object? Do you know the product's name? Do you know that how it looks like? Do you know that where it is used? That means you are helping the person to express faster so that you know that whether you are matching his demand and you have the product to deliver to him. This is a kind of disability, I'll tell you. Even sometime Lack of decision making is also a disability. In business or in shops, what happens is quite often people find it very difficult to take a decision, especially for many of the garment shops. When you have too many choices, in such cases you become, you are unable to decide. That's also another kind of disability. If you give 3 options to the client and then client becomes confused that which one is the better one that he should be doing, he should be opting, disability. Now, in such cases, you should be aware that what you should do, and specialist immediately catches that, okay, this person is not being able to take decision, let me help him to take the decision. This person not being able to express, let me help him to express. Okay, that is how it is. Diversity awareness is a slightly, it is a different kind of skill. People who are doing business with a certain specific thing is focused, it's very focused, but being aware of the diversity gives him an opportunity to expand and diversify on their businesses. This is a specialist skill. If suppose a company who you see that is a specialist in one kind of manufacturing items, and then you find that, okay, let's take any company who is a steel manufacturer, and you will be surprised that after 10 years the steel manufacturing company who is doing good business in the world, and now they have also gone into tourism. Who gave them the idea that the steel manufacturing is connected to the tourism? Then, if not, then who really first proposed that let's also go into tourism, or let's go into insurance, let's go into housing, real estate? See, this is a diversity awareness. Diversity awareness is a very specialized skill, and in your group, it is, you might find that some people will come with these ideas, different ideas, which is not common to your normal day-to-day affair. Okay? This awareness is a specialist skill. And some people, essentially I have found that people who build their business brick by brick, they have a very strong skill, specialized skill on diversity awareness. They have. Once they start a business, focus on it, bring it to a level which is now sustaining, running, making good business, then the person suddenly takes himself a little back. Okay, because this is running, this is rolling, this business is rolling. Then he starts thinking, where do I diversify? I have made so much of corpus in my company, then where do I diversify? Then he starts thinking, what are the different kind of business? So the business trend awareness, now he is going into that. And once he does that, then he starts thinking, I am doing this business, I am doing a business which is diametrically opposite, steel manufacturing and the tourism, real estate and the insurance, life insurance. I am not talking about the property insurance, life insurance. That means now he has an idea that I can diversify, where he should diversify. Though there are different kind of steps or processes that he will follow mentally, but not everybody is competent to do it. But I'll tell you one thing, all these, not everybody is born with it. By company, by association, they learn it. Entrepreneurial thinking. Entrepreneurship is now a very global practice. Not only that, it has become a global knowledge sources. There are courses which are taught on entrepreneurship. There are master's level courses which are being taught on this entrepreneurship. There may be some institutions who are teaching entrepreneurship right from the base level after schooling. Entrepreneurship is what? Thinking of and then trying to do something. I won't use a term called business, either for innovation or for research or for business or for manufacturing or for social service, whatever. Entrepreneurship is, entrepreneurial way is you want to do something very positive, which is going to help the society, which is going to help the society, help the other people, which is going to give employment to other people, and which is also going to help yourself. If it is not, if that entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial way does not benefit you, then it's a social work. You don't care what you get, but you are going to give your service to the society. We say that that somebody is very enterprising. That means out of the box suddenly he starts his activity and then he grows. Entrepreneurial thinking is a very specialized one. I will not pick up this thread of entrepreneurship now. Originally I thought, but probably it will deviate from what I am focusing. So in this course of 12 weeks, I will not talk about the entrepreneurship. Maybe sometime in some other course, I will have a good discussion, little discussion on entrepreneurship. Not everybody is having the entrepreneurship skill. Most of the people, they would like to have a very happy, smooth life. That means what they want. What they want, after finishing school, then go to college. After finishing college, then go for a job, take an employment, work under somebody, work with somebody and get a monthly salary. This is a very standard, common aspiration of common people. Who is an entrepreneur? He finishes his school. Then he goes to a college with a very strong focus that I want to learn this trade. Then he goes to such college. He is intellectually very competent to go to other streams also, but he is focused that I want to go for this particular stream. He picks up that particular stream, takes an admission, and then he tries to know more and more and more about that trade. Then he decides that I will now start practicing it. I am not going to go to any other office asking for a job, but he may go to other office for internship to know the tricks of the trade. Maybe 1 or 2 years he will go to an office, work with them, learn the tricks and trades, and then after 2 years he comes out. He resigns from the job and starts a business himself, or starts the entrepreneurship himself, or starts an organization himself. This is entrepreneurship. Otherwise, most of the people you will find, they join a company and they work for years and they are very, very qualified, technically, even emotionally qualified, even academically qualified, and they are giving wonderful service and they create lots of things being under the umbrella of that company, and then retires at the age of 60, 62, 65, whatever is the retirement age set for that company. He retires very gracefully. I salute them because they had been really, continuing with that kind of works and doing excellent jobs. But entrepreneurship is something different. Here, entrepreneurial thinking is the first thing. That means you must know that what should be the kind of entrepreneurship or enterprising thing that you should be doing, and who are the markets, who are the clients, what product you want to develop, who are the persons who are going to help you, whom you are going to hire, just one second, who you are going to hire, how much you should compensate them, what you should do. So basically all these specialist skills, it works. And then you become a specialist as an entrepreneur. It's a very common saying that entrepreneurship is not easy. Somebody who becomes an entrepreneur, he can be successful only if he has persisted his entrepreneurship and sustained the entrepreneurship for at least 5 years. Because 5 years is the time, within that period you have tested the ground, you have tested the pitfalls and the benefits, and then now you know that you are on a strong footing and you continue with the organization or entrepreneurship or enterprise. So it is first is thinking. It must give you strength. Nowadays we are trying to let young minds think as an entrepreneur. So this is how it is going. This word exiting, if you have noticed, I have written in all caps and also bold, because this is a very, very strong specialist skill. Very strong specialized skill. What is this exiting? Let me give you an idea. See, for everything you are always thinking that you are going forward. Any activity, any skill that you have is supposed to take you forward. Few things. You remember I said something like retreating. How do you retreat? in a war it is. If you find that your number of soldiers that you have is less than the opponent team, and it is clearly suicidal if you go forward and get all the soldiers killed including yourself, it is the wisest thing to retreat. Retreat does not mean they have lost. Retreat means you are now buying time. Retreat means you are going back to work out your future strategies. And then retreating means you are saving the lives of everybody. And then you prepare yourself, so you are buying time. Retreating does not mean losing. This is another strong point, exiting. In business, in profession, in jobs, in entrepreneurship, in anything, the art of exiting is one of the important things nobody talks about. At least I have never heard anybody suggesting how to exit, or anybody saying that, better exit. No, but I have personally have done it several times. What is this exit about? Let's talk about it a little more. You are trying to enter into a contract. Then you realize after working out the contract and going for a few months or few years that the opponent, the group with whom you have made the contract, is not a very comfortable one. You were forced to sign that contract because you didn't have any project at that time, so you signed the contract. Or else you were given a rosy picture of the future business with them. There are many reasons for which you have signed the contract. It's not necessarily that you are having a dearth of projects. You may be having lots of projects, but you thought this particular customer or this particular client may have a very bright associative future with us. So you signed the contract. After some time, when you realize that you made a mistake, or if you find that there are certain bugs in the other clients, bugs means who are always disturbing you, who are always trying to create troubles, who are creating troubles in terms of by not approving, who are creating troubles by putting blockades. There are many things. It happens. Then you are thinking that any further association with them is not very comfortable, neither it is profitable. Then I would say, think about exiting. Don't start counting how much crores you are losing. I'll tell you, best is exit. The art of exiting is not everybody's cup of tea. Art of exiting is very specialized skill. How do you do it? You do it with dignity. Exiting does not mean that you throw away the project on their face and then come out. No. You do it with dignity, do it with protocols, do it with processes. And then you'll find after you did exit, you are so comfortable, and suddenly a new horizon opens with another opportunity. And maybe sometime that remaining associated with one organization might have become counterproductive for getting associated with another one. Here, let me put one particular point. I am not saying exit from one agreement because you got a better agreement. That's negative. That's professionally unethical. If you are doing business with one organization that may not be paying you well, that you might be burning your lots of midnight oil to give this delivery, and you get another opportunity which is a bigger one, and you know that this is going to take out your time, the first one is going to take out your time, then you exit and you enter into the other agreement. I will say it's absolutely negative. It's against the business ethics. I am not saying that. I am saying you learn how to exit when you are in trouble being associated with them. I hope this point is very clear. My personal experience. For a project I was invited. With all dignity, I was requested to take up the project. And then when I entered into an agreement, more we interacted with in-house people, then I realized that many of the in-house people, they had somebody else in their mind. The decision maker selected us. But persons who are supporting all the facts and figures to the decision maker, they had somebody else in the mind. It happens in the business. It happens. When you are working with some group, if there are 15, 16, 20 people who are involved in the whole decision making of giving you the project, not necessarily every person is in favor of you. This aspects I will discuss when I'll talk about the businesses. Now what happens is, here I found after working for about 1 year, after working for about 1 year, then I realized that people are trying to create small troubles. Very funny troubles. Something like, oh, it was supposed to be given yesterday, today you are giving. And suppose you request for one more extra day for necessity, they will say, no, we cannot give you. That means they are trying to put impediments in your progress. Not only that, the moment they put impediments to you, at the same time they are also putting negative points in the ears of the high level decision makers. That means now they are acting as a negative feedback persons. When I realized it, that after some time, that internally they had some people in their mind whom they wanted to give the job, but these people who are now interacting with us, they were not responsible in giving us the job, but they were in the process of giving the job, and now they could not do anything. The project came on us. Then I realized that this project, which will go for another say 10-15 years, here it's only 1 year past, and we have delivered something and we have received some compensation for that, but it is not worthy of continuing with them for 10-15 years just because we are losing certain amount of crores or millions. At that point of time, we decided, no, we will exit. How do you exit? The process of exit that I have adopted, I am not going to share with you now. That will be unethical again. But the thing is, I did exit, and I did exit very gracefully. So you learn the way how you exit, and there is no do's and don'ts in the exit. Usually, it simply comes in your mind at that point of time. When I realized in the whole meeting that yes, it is better that I do exit, then I did put some points in such a way that they respectfully requested me to give advice that how can we close a contract. I gave them the advice, please close the contract in this manner, because they were also apprehensive. Am I going to the court? Am I going for arbitration? It's better that I stop this association. But I'll tell you, the day I stopped, I did exit. Within 6 months, I got a project which is about 3-folds of this scale. It is just a chance, it's a luck. It's just because somebody found that I'm having lesser load, because they were eyeing at me, but they knew that I had the other load. So when they found that I now have a lesser load, they approached me and I got the job. So this is how it is. So art of exit is a specialized skill. And I can tell you, when I was exiting, there were many of my team members, and they questioned me after I did exit that why did I do it. Then I have cited one mythological facts. I told them one thing. In Mahabharata, there was a character called Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu knew how to enter a chakravyuha, means it's a circle of soldiers. He knew by birth that how to penetrate that, how to enter that and fight them. And it's only there up to that. Since he did not know how to come out of it, how to exit, he died. Okay? And then I told my friends, look, Abhimanyu knew how to enter or penetrate the chakravyuha. And somehow, at that point of time, sitting in the meeting, I came up with the idea, if Abhimanyu knew how to enter, I should then work out how to exit. And I did exit out of it without any loss. Because I did not deliver further, so I did not lose. I lost the project, but I'll tell you, it was good for me that I lost the project. If I wouldn't have done it, then probably I would have been more disturbed by the internal people. And later on, the organization had a lot of other problems. And that, again, consolidated my belief that probably it is some supernatural power was taking me out of that particular rut so that I become very comfortable. So the art of exit, you don't have to practice it, but you have to act whenever it comes. It's a very, very special skill. Okay? So now I stop here, then I'll discuss more about these specialized skills in my next day's lecture. Please go through all these things, and first thing what you do is you try to see, have you ever exercised this, or have you ever come across through stories or interactions, somebody who is sharing their ideas on these or their experiences with this, and then you will make yourself competent and ready for such situations. That is the basic idea. All these are linguistically, it can be written anything. I am saying in the profession, when you are there, your whole set has to be very, very controlled, and you may make mistakes in some of this. You may make a strong mistake in executing your exiting, maybe. The point is, specialists generally don't make such mistakes. They rarely make mistakes because they are human. Okay, I stop here. The next day I will discuss more about it. Thank you very much.